The emergency family meeting happened on a Sunday afternoon. I knew it was serious because Mom had used her formal voice when she called the one she reserved for funerals and intervention-style confrontations. I arrived at Mom's house at 2 p.m. sharp. My sister Victoria's BMW was already in the driveway, parked at an angle like she'd rushed in. Through the front window, I could see her pacing in the living room, phone pressed to her ear, gesturing wildly. Mom opened the door before I could knock. "Thank God you're here," she said, pulling me inside. "Victoria needs our help. Our help. Not her help, our help." As if Victoria's problems were a family project we'd all signed up for. I set my purse on the entry table. "What's going on?" "Let her tell you herself." Mom ushered me into the living room where Victoria had finally ended her call. My sister looked immaculate as always, designer dress, perfect hair, makeup that probably cost more than my grocery budget. But there were cracks in the facade. Her hands were shaking slightly. Her smile was too bright. "Melissa." She crossed the room and hugged me, tight enough that I could feel her trembling. "I'm so glad you're here. I need to talk to you about something important." We sat. Mom perched on the edge of the couch like a referee ready to intervene. Victoria took a deep breath. "My business is in trouble. I'd seen this coming for months." Victoria's luxury lifestyle consulting firm had always seemed more Instagram than income, more aesthetic than actual business model. She helped wealthy people curate their lives, picking out furniture, planning parties, organizing closets. It was the kind of business that thrived during economic booms and died during downturns. "What kind of trouble?" I asked. "I'm losing clients. 3 of my biggest accounts dropped me last month. The economy is tight and people are cutting back on non-essentials." She said it like it was shocking, like people prioritizing food over having someone pick out their throw pillows was a personal betrayal. "That's rough," I said carefully. "What's your plan?" "That's what I want to talk to you about." Victoria leaned forward, her eyes bright with desperation. "I need capital. About $150,000 to restructure, rebrand, weather the storm until things pick back up." I waited. "And I know you have savings," she continued. "You've always been so good with money, so careful. Mom told me you have over $200,000 saved up." I shot Mom a look. She had the grace to look slightly embarrassed. "And I thought, this is perfect." "Your savings will save my business. We're family. You help me now, and when the business rebounds, I'll pay you back with interest." There it was. The ask, the demand dressed up as an opportunity. "Victoria, before you say anything," she interrupted, "I want you to know I've thought this through. I have a whole business plan. I've talked to consultants. Everyone agrees that with proper funding, I can turn this around in 6 months. 6 months, Mel, that's all I need." Mom agreed. "Give her your money, family first. Your sister needs help. You have the means to help her. This is what family does, we support each other." I looked at my mother, this woman who'd spent my entire childhood teaching me that money was safety, that savings were sacred, that financial independence was the most important thing a woman could have. All of that disappeared the moment her golden child needed something. "Let me ask you something," I said to Victoria. "How much have you invested in your own business?" "Your own money, not client payments or business loans," Victoria blinked. I don't know exactly. Maybe $30,000 over the years." "You've been running this business for 5 years and you've invested $30,000 of your own money." "I reinvest the profits." "What profits?" "You just said you're losing clients." Her face flushed. "The market changed. It's not my fault." "I'm not saying it's your fault. I am asking how much of your own money you've risked on this business. You asking me to save. That's not fair," Mom interjected. "Victoria has expenses. She has a lifestyle to maintain. A lifestyle she can't afford," I said quietly. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. "I can't believe you're being like this." "I'm your sister." "I'm asking for help, and you're attacking me?" "I'm not attacking you. I'm asking questions." "Well, your questions feel like attacks." She grabbed a tissue from the box Mom kept on the coffee table. "I came here thinking I could count on family. And instead you're interrogating me like I'm some kind of criminal." I smiled and opened my laptop. "What are you doing?" Victoria asked, her voice sharp with suspicion. Showing you something. I pulled up my email, found the message from my bank manager, and turned the screen toward them. As the bank manager's email appeared, their faces turned white. The records showed. Mom leaned in, squinting at the screen. Victoria's hand flew to her mouth. That can't be right, Victoria whispered. The email subject line read, Account Activity Summary, Melissa Thornton. The body of the email contained an attachment. My complete banking history for the past 7 years. What is this? Mom asked. Proof, I said. Proof of where my money actually came from. I opened the attachment. A spreadsheet appeared, meticulously detailed, every transaction categorized and color-coded. The green highlighted entries, I said, are my salary deposits. I work as a senior accountant. I make $87,000 a year. Not rich, but comfortable. Victoria was staring at the screen like it might bite her. The blue entries are my side income. I do freelance bookkeeping on weekends. That brings in about $15,000 annually. Melissa, Mom started. The red entries, I continued, are my expenses. Rent, utilities, groceries, transportation. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I drive a 2015 Honda Civic. I buy my clothes at outlet stores. My total monthly expenses average $3,200. I scrolled down to a summary section. Over the past 7 years, I've earned approximately $714,000 total. After taxes and expenses, I've saved $223,000. That's the money you're asking me to give Victoria. I'm not asking you to give it, Victoria said. It's a loan. Let me show you something else. I pulled up another document. This is a record of every time you've borrowed money from me. Victoria's face went pale. In 2019, you borrowed $5,000 for a business emergency. You were supposed to pay me back in 3 months. I never saw a cent. I was going to. In 2020, you needed $3,000 for a client event that fell through. You said you'd pay me back when insurance covered it. Never happened. The insurance company refused. In 2021, you borrowed $8,000 for new office furniture. You said it was an investment that would attract better clients. You promised to pay me back within the year. I tried, but in 2022, another $4,000 for a marketing campaign that was supposed to change everything. That campaign did bring in clients. And in 2023, $6,000 for a business coach who was supposed to help you scale. I looked at Victoria, watched her fidget with her tissue. That's $26,000, Victoria. $26,000 that I've loaned you over the past 5 years. Want to guess how much you've paid back? Silence. 0, not $1. And now you're asking for $150,000 more, with the same promises you've made before. Mom's voice was quiet. I didn't know about the other loans. Of course you didn't, because Victoria never tells you when she's failing. She only tells you when she needs rescuing. That's not true. Victoria stood up, her voice rising. I work hard, I'm building something. You're building a fantasy, I said. You're spending money you don't have to maintain an image that doesn't exist. Your business isn't failing because of the economy. It's failing because you've never run it like a real business. How dare you? I pulled up another document. This is your business Instagram. In the past 6 months, you've posted pictures from Paris, Dubai, the Maldives. You've shown off designer handbags, expensive dinners, luxury hotels. That's marketing. I have to show clients the lifestyle they're aspiring to. You've also posted about how you invest in yourself and never settle for less than luxury. What message does that send to potential clients when they know you re-asking your sister for money? Victoria's mouth opened and closed. You've created a personal brand built on wealth you don't actually have. And when reality crashes in, you expect family to prop up the illusion? This is cruel, Mom said. Melissa, she's your sister, and I've already given her $26,000. How much more do I owe her for being related? Mom flinched. I turned to Victoria. Here's what's going to happen. I'm not giving you $150,000. I'm not giving you $1,000. I'm not giving you anything. Melissa, please. But I will help you. I'll help you file for bankruptcy if that's what you need. I'll help you liquidate your business assets properly. I'll help you create a real budget and find a job that actually pays you a salary. I'll help you rebuild, but only if you're willing to be honest about where you are. I don't need help finding a job, Victoria said icily. I'm an entrepreneur. You're unemployed with debt and no income. That's not entrepreneurship. That's denial. She grabbed her purse. I can't believe this. I came here asking for family support, and you humiliate me with spreadsheets and lectures. You came here demanding my life savings, I corrected. There's a difference. Victoria looked at Mom. Are you going to let her talk to me like this? Mom looked between us, her face conflicted. Victoria, honey, maybe Melissa has a point. About the business, I mean. Maybe it's time to consider other options. Other options? Victoria's voice was shrill. I've spent 5 years building this. I've invested everything. You've invested $30,000 and a lot of Instagram posts, I said. That's not everything. That's not even close. I'm leaving. Victoria headed for the door. When my business succeeds without you, don't come crawling back asking to be part of it. I won't, I said. She slammed the door hard enough to rattle the windows. Mom and I sat in silence. You were harsh, Mom said finally. I was honest. She's struggling. She's been struggling for years. And every time someone props her up, she learns that struggling is profitable. That failure comes with a safety net. What if she really does lose everything? Then she learned what it's like to rebuild from nothing, like I did. Mom looked at me. What do you mean? I closed my laptop. Did you know I was homeless for 3 months when I was 23? Her face went blank. What? I got laid off from my first real job. Couldn't make rent. Got evicted. I slept in my car and showered at the gym until I found another position. Why didn't you tell me? I tried. You were busy helping Victoria launch her business. You didn't have time for my drama. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Melissa, I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty. I'm telling you because I survived it. I figured it out. I rebuilt. And I'm stronger for it. You could have asked for help. I did. You said you'd already lent Victoria money for her business and didn't have anything left. You told me to figure it out. She put her hand over her mouth. So I did. I figured it out. I worked 3 jobs. I lived off dollar menu items. I saved every cent. And when I finally got stable, I promised myself I'd never be that vulnerable again. Is that why you won't help Victoria? I'm not helping Victoria because giving her money doesn't help her. It enables her. It teaches her that crying loud enough will make people pay her bills. She's your sister, and I love her. But I won't set myself on fire to keep her warm. Mom wiped her eyes. What do I tell her? Tell her the truth. That she needs to face reality. That pretending to be successful isn't the same as being successful. That family doesn't mean unlimited access to other people's bank accounts. She hates you. She already does. She's just been polite about it because she needed money. Mom stood up slowly, looking older than she had an hour ago. When did you become so hard? When being soft almost destroyed me. I left shortly after. Drove home to my 1-bedroom apartment, made myself dinner from groceries I'd bought on sale, and sat down at my desk. I pulled up my savings account, looked at the balance, $223,147.82. Every dollar earned through 60-hour work weeks. Sacrificed vacations and nights spent doing other people's taxes instead of going out with friends. My phone buzzed. A text from Victoria. I hope you're happy. You've destroyed my business and my relationship with Mom. I'll never forgive you. I typed back. I didn't destroy your business. You did. I just refused to delay the inevitable. She didn't respond. Over the next 3 months, I watched Victoria's Instagram go dark. No more luxury posts. No more motivational quotes about girl boss energy. Just silence. Mom called occasionally, asking if I'd talk to Victoria. I hadn't. She'd made it clear she didn't want to hear from me. Then, 4 months after our confrontation, Victoria called. I got a job, she said without preamble. Okay. Marketing coordinator at a tech startup. $65,000 a year plus benefits. That's good. I declared bankruptcy last week. The business is officially dissolved. I'm sorry. Are you? Her voice was bitter. This is what you wanted, isn't it? Me failing, you being right? No, Victoria. I wanted you to face reality before it crushed you. There's a difference. Silence on the line. The startup is actually kind of cool, she said finally. They're doing interesting work. I'm using skills I forgot I had. I'm glad. I hate that you were right. I know. I really believed I could make it work. The business, I know that too. I was stupid. You were optimistic. There's a difference. Another long pause. I can't pay you back, she said quietly. The $26,000. I don't have it. I know. Do you hate me for that? I thought about it, really thought about it. No, I'm disappointed. But I don't hate you. Mom thinks you're cruel. Mom thinks a lot of things. Are we ever going to be okay? Like sisters okay? I don't know, I said honestly. That depends on whether you can accept that I'm not your backup plan. That I'm a person, not a bank. I'm trying. Then we might be okay. Eventually. She hung up without saying goodbye. 6 months later, Victoria sent me a check for $500. The memo line said, "Payment 1 of 52. I called her. Victoria, you don't have to. Yes, I do. $500 a month. It'll take me 4.5 years to pay back the full $26,000, but I'm doing it. What about your expenses? I live in a studio apartment now. I sold the BMW and bought a used Camry. I pack my lunch. I'm doing what you did figuring it out. I'm proud of you." Her voice cracked. Don't. I don't deserve that yet. Yes, you do. We didn't become best friends. We didn't have tearful reconciliations or sister bonding weekends. But every month, like clockwork, I get a $500 check from Victoria. And every month I deposit it and send her a text. Received. Thank you. She always responds, 46 more to go. Then 45 more to go. Then 44 more to go. We're at 38 more to go now. Mom still thinks I should have helped Victoria save her business. She says I was selfish, that I valued money over family. I don't argue with her. There's no point. But I sleep perfectly at night, knowing my savings account is intact, my boundaries are firm. And my sister is learning what I learned years ago, that survival isn't pretty, but it's possible. And that the people who love you shouldn't have to bankrupt themselves to prove it. Victoria's business failed because it was built on appearances instead of foundations, on borrowed money instead of earned success, on family obligation instead of market viability. I didn't destroy it by refusing to fund it. I just refused to go down with the ship. And now, month by month, payment by payment, Victoria is building something new, a life she can actually afford, a career she actually earns, and a relationship with me based on respect instead of rescue. The bank records I showed her that day didn't just prove where my money came from. They proved what it cost me. And that's not a price I'll ever pay for someone else's fantasy again. Not even for family. Especially not for family.